on him. He's kind of watching her, and he's going...
There's a different aspect in this movie because of him being so involved. It gives the animators a challenge because our process is very slow, very methodical, and his is very spontaneous, and we have to keep up.
See, there's my hive right there. Do you know when you make an animated movie, you kind of create a fake universe?
Oh, you're in Sheep Meadow.
Yes, you know the turtle pond?
Yes.
I'm right off of that.
Oh, no way.
The design issue for BeeWorld is that you're trying to create a completely self-contained society, you know, but nobody really knows what goes on inside a hive, so we put the honey in the center and below the society and then built the town right on top of the factory, so it was really clear everything in the world was about honey making.
Onyx is an dazzling place. We wanted it to look fun, because bees love to make honey. They created all these fabulous taffy pulley machines and centrifuges and, you know, bubble makers.
And here we have the krillman.
We wanted to play with a lot of transparency and see the honey going through all the machinery in Onyx and see the transparency of the buildings as well, you know, feeling that, you know, if you put a light behind, you know, it's going to glow through. So, of course, it was challenging, but yet beautiful to achieve.
We had to come up with a production line process of this material going through a series of machines that does something to it, although in fact difference from what goes in and what comes out is probably nothing. You know, it's actually the liquid honey comes in and the liquid honey comes out, but it's gone through this elaborate, over-engineered process.
Turn your key, sir! Cannonball!
I think that the most challenging thing about this movie is two full worlds. It's a whole bee world and a whole human world. Doing one full world in the movie is challenging, but to do two...
You are way out of position, rookie!
In the human world, we tried to make very sharp and right angles as a contrast, and especially Manhattan is a very rectilinear kind of place. The city is laid out on a grid, and the buildings are square, and everything has a sharp edge to it. And so that was kind of the way we decided to interpret the two worlds.
Human bee tension out here.
One of the things that Jerry brought to the film was a sense of scope. He really didn't want to be constrained on the places that he was going to tell his story or the places that we could go in the world. He had a lot of ideas that were very important to him in getting the story across, and he wanted to go to a bunch of different places.
This can't possibly work. Okay, Barry, pull the chute. Ah! Ooh.
Because of the nature of having two distinct worlds and really wanting to have a full, rich environment, it required really us to double our efforts, and so we ended up with about 50 sets in this film. It just created such a full, rich, complete environment for both worlds that it makes it really impressive.
All right, launch position!
The flying sequences in the movie are some of the most challenging shots to get because we are literally, there is Bee's Barry size, which is his 1 inch size, and we are literally behind him 1 inch away from camera, so a lot of the lenses were tricky to get.
That's kind of the hidden challenge of shooting the BeeMovie. We often change the camera lenses, either per shot or even during the shot. We move the camera around in order to best tell the story.
You ever see pollination up close?
No, sir.
I pick up some pollen over here, sprinkle it over here.
We never wanted to go quite so like the point of view of the bee necessarily. We always felt like we were kind of flying behind him.
Wow! Barry is a bee, so he's about 1 inch tall, but he flies outside of his hive, a very big place, and one car is a very big distance to a bee, and we show a lot more than a car. We look down a street, we do crane shots from above of Central Park.
The shot where they all fly outside the hive, the camera working there, it goes up and down and around the park, and it's just goes around Barry, goes around pollen ducts, goes down to flowers, and comes back up again. It's just, whoa, how did they do that?
It's a little bit of magic, ain't it?
That shot just always gives me the goosebumps. It's just amazing.
Look at all this room! Box kite!
We all had this idea when we first started of what this film should be, and it's actually as good as we wanted it to be.
I guess that's why they say we don't need vacations.
One time they asked me what was the thing I liked least about working on a BeeMovie, and that was simple as knowing that someday this is going to end. Because Jerry Seinfeld is truly one of the most wonderful collaborators I've ever worked with.
That's very funny.
Yeah, bees are funny. If we didn't laugh, we'd cry with what we have to deal with. We are professional fun havers.
Yeah,
that is our job.
That's right. And we're available on Saturdays between
1 and 5.
What happened here?
I tried to talk to them. There was a dustbuster, a toupee, a life raft exploded. Now one's bald, one's in a boat, and they're both unconscious.
Is that another bee joke?
You can't take for granted what it means to be involved in something good.
Oh, don't mess with the bees.
You know, work with the best, and Jerry Seinfeld is the best.
Sorry I'm late. There was a ladybug in my spot.
That's funny. That's good.
Well, he's a very sweet guy. Got a stinging sense of humor. And, oh, he's just a honey of a fella. Hi, Bee.
It's his comic sensibility and perspective that made his show, you know, so fun and wonderful, you know, all those years. And now he's doing it with the exploited bee. And so it's fun.
Well, here's to a great team.
To a great team.
I love it. I love it. I'm the biggest fan of the movie. When we go to screening, we do these test screenings, and I have to sit there and hold my hand over my mouth because I want to just laugh out loud. It really makes me laugh. It's completely silly. Oh, ah! Mama's little boy.
You can just start packing up, honey, because I believe you're about to eat it.
DreamWorks BeeMovie.